Being an Indigenous filmmaker has historically been challenging. Very little funding is provided specifically for Indigenous films, and only recently have film partners like Telefilm Canada begun doing so. But in 2019, only 2 years after this began, Inuit filmmaker Zacharias Kunuk received funding from Telefilm Canada and a number of sources for his film, One Day in the Life of Noah Pugatuk. But who is Zacharias Kunuk, and what's so special about him? There's so much to unpack about Kunuk's unique style, so let's take a deep dive into why I believe he's an auteur. And I know I'm not going to convince you, because you literally said nobody does.
Perfect.
A new favorite filmmaker of mine, Kunuk lets us directly dive into Inuit life and culture in Nunavut. Traditional means of living are key to his stories. We prominently see animal fur coats, hunting, igloos and teepees, Inuktitut language, and my favorite, throat singing. Throat singing, known by several names depending on where in Nunavut you're from, is more than meets the eye and ears. It's a traditional game in Inuit culture. Basically, the goal is to hold the pattern as long as you can. In my eyes, it's one of the most fascinating and even soothing Inuit traditions. Seeing it in Kunuk's film was a delight.
Perfect.
Kunuk's films feel like a slice of life. Many inhabitants of Nunavut continue to use traditional means of living, therefore there are few spaces for sets to be built. The result are films that feel like non-fiction, but are meant to tell a fictional story. It almost feels like you're watching a documentary, but no. There's a story in everything. It's the way it's shot that gives it this documentary feel. Different audiences' reception to this can vary. Some, like me, may appreciate the raw style, but others may find it takes away from the enjoyment of movies. With this raw, slice-of-life style, Kunuk shows stuff atypical for most movies. Let's use his award-winning film, Atanarjua, The Fast Runner, as an example. He rarely uses the rule of thirds and goes handheld for most shots. Furthermore, we see dogs being beaten, an uncensored, running nude man for several minutes, and a lot, and I mean a lot, of urination. Some audiences may find seeing these rare elements disturbing, while others may appreciate how Kunuk's raw style brings in unique scenes like these. Not only has Kunuk directed traditional cinema-style films, but he also directed an animated short called Ingekus Zhaojuk, The Shaman's Apprentice. In this TV short, his style is still very much present, as well as traditional Inuit means of living, but allowed for more creative freedom, in my opinion. It still really felt like a Kunuk film, but with an even more gorgeous visual style. Zacharias Kunuk is a filmmaker with a style very different from mainstream Hollywood filmmakers. He embraces his Inuit heritage in every sense imaginable and is not afraid to show darker ideas. But still not convinced he's an auteur, are you? Well,